All right, we've got lots going on here. The Italian stallion of sports agents joins us. Stole the hearts of NFL fans everywhere. Tommy Cutlets' agent, after a very Jerry Maguire moment last night, Sean Stellato should be calling in and joining us. Cam Jordan, Saints fans, hello. Derek Carr, Jameis Winston. Is Cam going to find a way to sack Peyton Manning somewhere out there in the world? Let's plot that out. And Deebo makes his weekly appearance, 5 touchdowns in 2 games. I have my YouTube chat up, guys. You guys can ask Deebo questions in here, and I will ask him. Somebody wanted to know what his favorite Pop-Tart was. I don't know his, but the correct answer is untoasted cinnamon brown sugar. Okay, let's do it. We got a big show. Appreciate everybody. There's a lot of this. There's a lot of this going on in the old chat-to-ski right now. We appreciate you guys for watching on YouTube. Of course, we stream every day live at 11 Eastern, or you can watch us on FanDuel TV. Check your cable provider. It's pretty much everywhere. And we're also hanging out over on Max on HBO. We can stream it every day at 2 p.m. Eastern. So lots going on here. Cam Jordan joining the show. We haven't talked to him in a while. Last time we talked to him, he did not want to be cute with me about stats and their defense being good. He knows what time it is, and it's time for a Super Bowl window that is closing to just sort of peek through that and, you know, Kool-Aid Man through any of that drama and get himself a Super Bowl. What can happen this year? What's up with Derek Carr? Should Derek Carr kick it a little bit, rest up a little bit, let Jameis get some run here? Saints fans have the questions. We'll get them from Cam Jordan. He'll talk about other NFL storylines as well. We also have Deebo Samuel on the show, which is just amazing. And he's got Arizona, which is, we have some interesting nuances to that game, but he's like unstoppable right now. He hasn't had 10 touches in one game this season, yet somehow is scoring touchdowns at a crazy clip, and we'll see about that. You guys can hit me up on the old socials, and I'll get your questions in. But we got to talk about what happened last night, which I'll also ask Deebo about. And Tyreek Hill and all of that. Listen, if you love pandemonium and chaos and the NFL at its absolute wildest, like in its bag of wildness, last night was as good as it gets. It started with what happened in the Meadowlands. Tommy DeVito kept the magic going. He stuns the Packers. Giants have now won 3 straight. What? Look at this. While the Packers are still clinging on to a wild card spot, New York just to gain back. This is a run nobody saw coming. And while the G-Men are still a long shot to get in, they're legitimately somehow still in the race. They're in it. Tommy DeVito continues to show that he's more than just a chicken parm and hand gesture guy, okay? He made plays all night long. 71 rushing yards. 71, it's crazy. He edges out Lamar for the most by a quarterback this week. This is your leading rushing quarterback in Week 14, and that game-winning drive you just saw, that is the stuff that makes you want to do this. That is the stuff that, cue the Rocky music, let's go. That's the stuff of magic. And I believe there's real magic on this Giants team right now. And while Tommy is the man of the hour, we're hopefully going to get to talk to Sean Stellato, who should be joining us. I don't know if we have him yet. Yeah, okay, great. He's not there yet. Good to know. And, yeah, and so that's what happened. And we have, of course, the Tyreek Hill portion of the program in the other game, which was sort of wild because we have to ask Deebo about this. He might as well have cemented his candidacy for MVP.
Yeah, when Tyreek went out of that game, that Dolphins offense went to a standstill. They rip off 17 unanswered points as soon as he comes back in. So there are people saying, like, that's all the evidence you need, that Tyreek Hill is the most valuable player in the league this year.
Got it. All right, we're going to talk about the Titans and the Dolphins. We're going to take a short break here, guys, to reset and get everything going. Deebo Samuel, Cam Jordan on the show. We got Attaboys as well to dish out here on the program. We'll do that actually right after the break. Quarterback man, winners of 3 straight. Tommy DeVito took over last night, and there is his agent who took over the broadcast and Twitter and just the NFL world. What an amazing, amazing night. Wearing that custom, I believe, Brooklyn Bellissimo hat. I believe that's what Twitter is reporting. He's probably ordering a tray of ziti for post-game. He's being inducted into the National Italian-American Sports Hall of Fame, which is incredible. This week, I believe, the New York Post calls him the Italian stallion of sports agents. It is a pleasure to welcome Sean Stellato to the show. Sean, mwah, mwah, mwah.
Mama, buongiorno. Great, thanks for the warm intro. How you doing?
I'm good. Sean, have you slept at all?
I know, I look tired.
No.
I'm about 3 hours.
Yeah. Tell
So
me.
I got about 3 hours of sleep. I did get the workout in, so I'm ready to go. What do they say?
Yeah. What?
I said, what do they say? Competition never sleeps.
Competition never sleeps. Listen, we have so much to get into, but first off, congratulations. This game-winning drive was incredible. Your guy, Tommy DeVito, he is writing an unbelievable story right now. You don't see a lot of undrafted rookies step in, leading a team to 3 straight wins. Tell me why you aren't surprised, Sean.
Tommy was an Elite 11 player. He was a dark horse for the 2018 Heisman Trophy. And let's face it, he hit a couple speed bumps at Syracuse, reinvented himself. My job as a sports agent is obviously to project value, and I always admired the grittiness of him. And he's like a sponge. He just wants to absorb and get better. And he's in a great franchise. After the draft, we had several offers, and it was a no-brainer to, go to that organization and be developed by coach who's done a great job with Josh Allen, Jalen, and Tua. And he's, only going to get better. He's locked in. He's got that quiet confidence. A testament to his mom and dad. They've implemented that work ethic and core values at a young age, and he's embraced it, and he's taken the bull by the horns, and we're both excited to be in the moment, but we're preparing obviously for the next opportunity down in New Orleans.
Did he want to go to the Giants?
Yeah, you know what? I think deep down inside that was the goal. We would hope they called his name, but let's face it, some of the greatest players to play the game did not get their name called, and he just went out there with the opportunity. When I met with Coach after the draft in his office, I mean, he laid it out about this is going to be a long, hard battle to make the 53 and what he needed to do. And Joe was very transparent. He felt he started off a little slow in the spring. But let's face it, like a good racehorse, it's not where you start, it's where you finish. And he's really taking a great, obviously approach to preparation. And I'm excited for him because we all know the mental capacity and the football IQ you need to play that position. And then again, getting it done in the elements. New York isn't Miami. It's not your dome like Mr. Manning had many years playing in that perfect weather, even though he's one of the GOATs. So Tommy, his hand size was important. We knew that going into the draft. His ability to, make those intermediate throws, ability to process. And I don't think people know how athletic Tommy is. Last night, rushed for over 70 yards.
71.
He's quick, and he's got instincts. And 71. I was a yard off. So I apologize about that. But he's look at 17 for 21 last night, and against a real good football team. Obviously we got to peak at the right time. We've seen Giants teams in the past make runs. I know we got to get ready for New Orleans, but they're still alive, for playoff contention. And, I don't know, the story hopefully can unfold like one of the greatest ever, or the greatest ever in Tom Brady that rookie year. I'm sorry, that 2001, his second season, when they got El Fuego the right time. And I don't know, the stars aligned. So I know we got to focus one game at a time, but I'm happy for him. And we both know, hey, we got to continue to get better, got to continue to work hard. And all the hype, all the notoriety is great, but that doesn't win any football games.
Yeah,
and that doesn't equate to success in the National Football League.
You're speaking like a former, I'm sure this is Marist you're rocking right here, a former Marist player. Are you wearing a Marist jacket? What are you wearing?
I'm rocking, I got a legacy.
Of course.
It's actually a legacy jacket the Hall of Fame did for me. So We've got the EM on. It's, I figured I couldn't rock the fedora today. I said, I got to change it up a little bit. So my zip code is sacred to me, 01970, Salem, Mass. That's really a big part of my makeup and, how I was raised, 8 of us, 3-bedroom house.
Wow.
Marist was a special spot. So Kate, I spent 5 years in New York. So I got engaged on Rockefeller Ice. I can't even skate. So that's a story.
I know you're saying like New York's not an easy.
time.
Yeah, you're saying New York's not an easy place to play, but like New York's where Tommy DeVito is supposed to play, and then it all not being drafted. All the, I imagine, adversity that maybe we can get into it here. It's not an easy path when you are undrafted. It leads to this moment. Take me into the moment that you had in the stands with his family, the kisses, the this. Talk to me.
Yeah, family is the backbone of everything. I mean, that's something my dad preached at a young age. That's something Mr. DeVito preached. And look, it's a shining moment. You spend your entire life grinding, working, especially in a very competitive industry. And Italians are very passionate. We talk with our hands. We hug. We kiss. Those things are very organic. And I share those same values with the DeVitos. I always hug and kiss my kids. I mean, my mom and dad to this day, they've been married 62 years. They're on a train going to Chicago for my Hall of Fame induction Friday. It's just that old school passion and love for each other. And I mean, last night was exciting to just see the young man's hard work on the biggest stage, Monday Night Football. We had a little fun with it, but I mean, everything, as I said, we're not sugarcoating anything. That's real. It's genuine. It's our love for the game, and it's our love for our heritage. And we're very blessed to be in the moment right now, but we know we've got to continue to evolve, and he's got to continue to play at a high level, which I have no doubt he won't. He will not. And I know I'm ready to deliver on all cylinders for him, collaborate with the right companies off the field, and be as confident, through this whole amazing journey.
Couple questions for you. I want to talk a little bit more about what's ahead, but what is this? What does this mean?
Forget about it. That means just, hey, it's just a really iconic symbol that really, hey, I'm talking, you listening. It's just something that's ingrained. People interpret it multiple ways. Yeah. I heard it last night. That's a gangster move, and that was the Sopranos move. And I'm just like, no, that's, just, hey,
forget about it.
Forget about it. I'm sure Sebastian can, can probably do it better than anybody. But Tommy's orchestrated that. He's embraced it. He's done a great job. And it's great to see his linemen getting involved with it because, let's face it, who doesn't, the Italian traditions, the Italian foods. I mean, it's everyone's watched all those great movies.
Let's talk about food. After a game like last night, there's no way that you don't have a standing table, open reservation to Rayo's whenever you want, right?
Oh, man, I was hoping we are going to get that call. We called. I mean, I don't know. Rayo's, if you're hearing, would love to come in. But, we talked about Tommy being a gourmet chef, doing some collaborations with the Yankees, Patsy's, Carbones, I believe it is.
Yeah.
He loves. Yeah, there's a lot of good restaurants in the city that I know Tommy's going to look forward to having sit downs there and enjoying that multiple course meal. He does like his fine dining.
He does. Who's the person that you would lose your mind to hear from today? Stallone, De Niro, Pacino? Like if you looked at your phone and was like, this person wants to say, forget about it.
Who was the person?
Who's the person that if you heard from today, wanted to say, wow, great. I'm sure your phone was crazy after last night, but if you got, a call or a text or a DM from somebody, who's the person that would blow your mind to hear from?
You know what? Joe Pesci congratulated me on the Hall of Fame induction, which I thought was kind of cool. Yeah, I mean, I always admired Joe. I have kids, so the Home Alone is obvious. Everybody thinks of him in Goodfellas and Casino. Look at those. I mean, my cousin Vinny, who doesn't love that movie? But yeah, Home Alone is pretty special. So Joe, but I probably got 300 text messages, 300 phone calls. It's been pretty crazy. But I mean, it was funny when I had a moment last night with John Tish, one of the owners of the Giants, because I'm an alum of the Gunnery School, where John was a huge alum and big donor there. So it was kind of, he looked at me and he smiled and gave me a hug. He goes, "Yep, that's just how I thought you were going to look." But it was funny, but at the end of the day, look at attire can players dress a certain way on the field. At the end of the day, it's about results, and it's about, something do identify you. But I'm always the person, that's curious, not judgmental. So that's important to me. And I guess, hey, we got to just continue to, we'll have fun with it, but we're going to continue to work. And I'm just excited for Tommy, excited for the Giants organization that they're putting themselves in a position to, finish this thing strong. So it's going to get exciting.
Sean, what's your dream for Tommy DeVito? Can he win this job?
Yeah, my dream is for him to be the starting quarterback and get a long-term deal with the New York Giants. I have no doubt he can win this job. He's won the locker room. The coaches are believing. Let's face it, the fans think he's the second coming of, the Sopranos back at 20-something years ago. Just in terms of that aura and that passion and that blue-collar underdog approach, because he relates to that fan base. So I think he can win that job. I have no doubt about it. Daniel Jones is a hell of a quarterback too. So got to just continue to take it one day at a time, one practice at a time, one game at a time. But I know he's ready for any challenge that's going to come his way. He's prepared his entire life. Don't forget, this is a kid that went up against Tua and Trevor Lawrence at the Open out in Oregon and was the MVP of that camp.
There we go.
This is not a fluke by any means. And Brock Purdy's done a great job. You continue to build and put weapons around Tommy DeVito, and he is going to get better like a fine wine.
And it's nice to have a partner like you there. Star quarterback for those Salem Witches you were talking about. You're wearing the Marist. I believe the leading receiver in the 2000s, 2001 at Marist. And now you're, I'm sure, out there coaching him up. You're out there taking care of him. You're hanging out with his family. And I do want to know, I don't know you. And we have to wrap here and say, I don't know you, but I know from seeing the tweets from Jonas Gray, who, by the way, I don't know if you were his agent when he had that 4-touchdown game against the Colts. That was crazy. But Jonas Gray, other Manhurts, these are guys coming out this morning saying, I've known him for years. He's been like that. I don't know you, but I know that you deeply care about your clients. And so I hope this brings you further success.
I appreciate it. I do. I wear my emotions on my sleeves sometimes, but I'm, hey, look at a lot of trial and error in this industry, and you got to get the right guys on the bus. But I'm excited. I got to stay in shape too. I always tell Tommy, if we got to go up against any quarterback agent in the industry, no one's beating us.
Hey.
So hopefully there can be a comp. I still run around. I could throw the ball good in high school. Got converted slot receiver. So I always admire those undersized slot receiver guys. So it's cool to play catch with him, and I'm always ready to run a couple routes. We
got to get you the Rayo's reservation, and I'm going to let you. You're being very listen. You're saying Tommy DeVito's a stud. Cam Jordan, 13-year veteran on those New Orleans Saints. He's our next guest. Cam, say hi to the quarterback's agent you're facing this week as we go to break.
I done heard it. I done seen it. Bada boom, bada bing. Love it.
How you doing, amico? Buongiorno.
Man, blessed over here. I feel like went to Italy this offseason. I feel like I'm that much closer to the Tommy Cutlets stigma that they got pushed out last week.
Without a doubt, I know. I renewed my vows in Positano with actually Jonas Gray when they won Super Bowl 49. So Italy's a sacred, special place, isn't it?
No doubt. I don't know about sacred. It's not sacred to me, but sacred to you, sure.
Yeah,
Cam, are you going to crush? Cam, are you going to end the Tommy DeVito story this week? No, don't do it.
I'm healing. So am I, but I think I got a D-line like Carl Granderson, Zach Bond, Tano Capacion. We got guys who are ready, eager, willing. My guy Brian Brzee might have a little extra Parmesan this week.
Oh, my God. Sean's like, nope.
Nope, he's like, nope.
I know, but I watched a lot of Brian. My nephew plays at Clemson, starts receiver. So Brian's a hell of a player.
You got to keep it in the family. Sean, we appreciate you. Good luck this week. That is the matchup. It's those Giants on a 3-game win streak up against the unstoppable force that is defensive end Cam Jordan. So we'll talk to you down the line, Sean. Wishing you so much luck. Cam, appreciate you being patient and coming on the show. How you feeling?
You know, we are slowly getting healthy. That's the name of the game. In a 17-week season, sometimes you get some injuries and you push through. Saints finally back in the win column. That's all I'm worried about. Somewhere, somehow.
What are the vibes?
We're still in the show. Yeah, we're still in the fight. We're still in the fight, and I love it.
Okay. Well, you said I'm going to start with this. Did you see? You probably didn't see this. I don't know if they put this out. Sean. No, who was it? It was not Sean Payton. Peyton Manning. I went on Manningcast, and they surprised me with a clip of this show when you said that you wanted to sack Peyton Manning still. I asked you, is there a quarterback you never got your hands on? And you said Peyton. Peyton, very nervous about this. A lot of anxiety, sleepless nights, thinking you're just going to show up and just like sack him one day. I mean, and I think you should. And his family, I believe, lives in New Orleans.
Yeah, no doubt. Definitely, locally based out of here. So eventually I'm going to see him in the streets. He's going to be like coming out of, he looks like the Trader Joe's guy, not a Whole Foods guy. But as he's walking out of Trader Joe's, I may push his cart out the way and get one for the one time. I just need to know what it felt like. I've sacked the little bro. Maybe if I stick around the next couple of years, I'll sack the nephew. I gotta go after the last one.
You're coming after his nephew. That's keeping it in the family. I love Tommy DeVito. No. We love it. Now you're saying y'all are in it, and you are. You beat Carolina 28-6. There was a 3-game losing streak. That's over. Your ankle is the most important thing going on with this locker room. How really are you feeling? I know you said you're healing. How fast?
You'd probably heal faster if you weren't playing every 6 days. But you know what? The greatest thing about it is I think we got guys with depth and talent. I mean, I think Carl Granderson is playing excellent this year. Again, we can go down the line. I think, we've got Tano Passion who's growing into his role, as well as Zach Bond off the edge. And if all I am is a hype man and a first and second down player, I embrace my role right now. For, when I get back to being healthy, we rotate in and so we make our depth even stronger. Demario Davis had a heck of a game last game. He could have had an interception, a multiple sack game, which I think he did. He had, 1.5? Could have ended up easily with 2.5. 2.5 sacks. I think that, our defense is understanding of how stout we need to be and how stout we can be when we're all dialed in. So I'm bring all the juice I can to each and every game, and we're going to rock out and see what happens this last 4. I think they're winnable games, and if we could take care of what we need to take care of, we should be where we want to be.
It's interesting you talk about how healthy can you get if you have to play every 6 days. It's so true. Like fans, I don't think about that. You can never be close to 100%. You'll never be as good as you are week 1, and you're trying to heal as aggressively as possible. And that brings me to your quarterback, because Derek Carr, he's battling. He's battling all season long. He's got concussion stuff and shoulder stuff and fractures and ribs and stuff that I'm sure he's not even telling anybody, but he keeps battling back. Is there a world where it might be a better idea for him to rest up a little bit over a week, take even just 1 week off to sort of get back out there? Or is it a good thing that he keeps getting the start?
Hey, look, in a warrior mindset, this is not like this is basketball where you can miss, 5 weeks and still have 20 weeks. We were 17 weeks. Each one of these games is even more crucial. So this warrior mentality of never being able to back down, or never wanting to back down, or always wanting to be on the field with your brothers, doing what you can. It comes with the territory, and you'd rather see the warrior who's willing to go through heck in high water to play on the field than somebody who breaks a nail and is like, I need 2 weeks to get me right.
Yeah.
It's in this day and game, this day and age, it's a lot of room for slight excuses, and it's great to see somebody who's willing to fight through any and all adversity. It's great to see your quarterback, have whatever it is, ribs, back, and get up and be like, all right, well, next play. There is no give up in DC, and that's one of the greatest attributes that he has. He has no back down. He has, he's in his mind, he's trying to throw strikes each and every time. And so for the locker room, you love to see it. You love to back it up. Like, all right, this is what he's going through. Great. But he's not complaining about it. He's pushing forward. Like, this is how I can get better. And this is what I want to do. And, yeah, I miss, whatever this is, I can get better in this area. And you see a game like last game where they enter the red zone, they don't leave unless they're scoring.
Yeah, y'all have so much respect for him. And I think the thing is that the fan base and what you say matters to this fan base, maybe more than anybody there. What you say really matters. Yeah. And you're hearing, I'm not there, but I'm hearing that there's booing. I'm hearing that there's frustration. I think there's an idea that, and really, because Derek Carr is so banged up, is he better than Jameis would be?
That is not my pay grade of a decision to make. I do know that, fans booing, everybody's frustrated. There was a time and era where, an offense was always ranked in the top 3 for a long period of time, and fans have that high expectation and high standards, as they should. No one fan goes into a season unless without shooting the team, we're going to play since Eli left. You wouldn't say, oh, man, right, I hope we make the playoffs. You go in with the standards of saying, hey, we are going to make the playoffs. We are going to make a deep run into the playoffs. We do want a Super Bowl this year. Every year I've ever stepped onto a field in September, I'd be like, all right, the goal is to win a Super Bowl. Now, whether you achieve that or don't achieve that, the goal is to win a Super Bowl. So each and every win is that much more important. And the fans sort of feel that, understand that, and want that for the franchise. With high success over the years, has come a high level of expectation. Yeah. And so you can feel the frustration. And of course, anytime you lose, I'm never going to be happy about it. And no one loss if you've ever been like, man, this feels good. It's not supposed to feel good. It's supposed to be upsetting. You're supposed to be frustrated when you're not winning. You're supposed to be frustrated when points aren't as high as you think are. The defense lets up a touchdown. That's why, as being a part of defense, it feels good knowing that, we play really well in the second half as a defense, but we play great in the first half. It's almost lights out.
And as I was thinking, there's Greg Popovich was running around the court saying, "Stop booing." There's that way. Please don't boo. But you're saying, I love this take by you. You understand it. You're just as frustrated. So fans are booing because of that, and you're not telling them to stop.
Oh, I'm telling them to rock with us, ride with us. As the New Orleans Saints go, as long as we can control our own destiny in this last 4 games, it truly matters that the fans are behind the team. If instead of those boos, now it's these fervent, yelling and bringing the energy, and we turn, a boo into a hell yeah, then we're going to go a lot further. That idea that if you enter the New Orleans Saints, Superdome, and you have to face not only the New Orleans Saints, but on third down, their offense can't do any of the checks. They can't hear because our fans are exactly where they need to be, 70,000 strong, going crazy. Then that's an advantage for us. And so if you can let the fans know, make the fans understand that we're all in this together, because ain't no way we're going out there trying to just be okay. We're trying to play to the best of our abilities and to the highest standards. So if everybody's on the same page, then there's no telling what we can do in the next 4 games.
When you see what you saw last night with Tommy DeVito, and sort of there's a lot of energy, but now they got to come to that house. They got to come to, and after seeing this clip, Saints fans better be loud and being the force that they can be to help this team close it out and get these wins. What did you see when you were watching Tommy DeVito last night in that offense?
Yeah, I feel like he's a quarterback who has some gumption to him, but also he hasn't faced us. But I feel like that every time. When I go into a game, I'm going in there with the utmost confidence that our defense is going to show out. We got guys like, Peyton, Man of the Year candidate, Tyrann Mathieu leading our defense. We've got, Demario Davis. You got Carl Granderson, Tano Passion, our young guy, and Nathan Shepard and Brian Brzee. I think that when you think about what Tommy DeVito has done, he still has to face our defense. He still has to go against guys like Anddddd Deebo and Alontae Taylor. He still got to see my young buck Jordan Howden. There's so many players on our defense that are trying to make these plays. We're up to the task each and every time. So if it's Tommy DeVito, if it's Saquon Barkley, whoever's up against us, they have to be aware and be prepared for us, and not the other way around. We're going to be prepared. We're going to be ready. And just like that, they got to come to our dome, and they also have to face our fans. When we all know Saints Nation, when they're really rocking, there's nobody louder, nobody better.
That's all you needed to say. I don't know that I've ever heard you so serious.
Hey, we're in the serious part of the season. Yeah. Again, this is net cutting time. I don't have time to be like, oh man, we got next game. No, we got this game, and this game's coming up.
Is that the message this next stretch? Because you're looking at it at 6-7. you're tied. Like, you know, you're serious, but you could win the division. That's what we're trying to do. NFC South, Bucks, Falcons, 4 games left. Like, we all wanted you to get to, you know, I said I wanted you to snap through that window like the Kool-Aid man, the Super Bowl window, and get yourself one. Is this a team, if this team does it, what will it take?
I mean, it takes exactly that. In the next 4 games, we play Atlanta and Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
So we win out. We clearly control our own destiny. And so there isn't anything not to understand. We win, we control our own destiny, we get a ticket to the playoffs, which we haven't seen in 2 years. That's what we need. That's what we want.
I would not want to be Tommy DeVito I would not want to be facing Cam Jordan. You are in your bag right now. You are on one.
Yeah, absolutely. It's bag season. It's Christmas coming up. You gotta bring it back, get it back.
Coming up. What do you want for Christmas? Last question for you. What do you want for Christmas? Even though I know what you want.
4 wins leading to probably 4 more wins. Hey, like, what do I want for Christmas? A Super Bowl. In whatever capacity we can get it.
That's right, and you go get it. And I know you are about your business today. We appreciate you, Cam. You're the absolute best. Go do it. And fans, listen to your boy, Cam Jordan. Cam, thank you.
No doubt. It's always who that Saints Nation we ride. You know, we need all the energy, all the love, and go on from there.
Yeah.
Appreciate you for having me on the show. It's always a pleasure. I'm going back to rehab.
Cam, you're so scary today. Goodbye. Poor Tommy DeVito. This is about to go away. All right, we'll be back on the show. We've got attaboys to dish out. Lots of fun still. We'll get you some sleepers. And here comes Deebo Samuel. 5 touchdowns. I mean, if you get 1 touchdown, it's going to be a disappointment, Deebo. Oh, man, he is so serious. I love when he's like that.
He is locked
I don't know that I've
in.
ever seen him like that.
I know.
I've never seen him that upset.
Yeah.
Not upset, but just like...
He's usually a little jokier. He was locked in.
Oh, usually super jokey. He's not jokey.
Yeah.
He's not jokey. I like it, though.
Yeah. I mean, I love the Peyton Manning. You can tell he's really given thought to the Peyton Manning thing. Like,
I was too focused on why are you so in your scary season.
But the fact that he's visualized it happening in a Trader Joe's, pushing the shopping cart.
What makes somebody a Trader Joe's guy versus a Whole Foods guy?
That's a great question.
That's the good social call out there. What does that mean? Sean Stellato was pure joy.
I mean, that was incredible.
I'm excited to have Deebo.
You love when you see somebody that's that passionate too about what they're doing, about their clients. Like he's.
You know what's good for business? Having the hottest player in the NFL on your show. Deebo, baby. That song like plays in my head, his intro music. I told I think Marissa that, but I was like, I don't know what this means before the Eagles game. Didn't I text you that? I go, I don't know what this means. I know you're an Eagles fan, but I just want you to know like that. Deebo. The song is in my head nonstop today.
It means he's about to go off again.
I know. I don't quite know what that. Forget about it.
We're celebrating this morning. It's a big day for Italian Americans.
Is it?
And we're celebrating it. It's
a
moment right now.
I love that his cousin or nephew is on the Saints.
On Clemson.
On Clemson.
Yeah.
Okay. Ask Deebo, what does he like more? Catch and yak or grab the rock and run like crazy? It's a good question. Yeah, he does not sound like a guy who could win his division. It is interesting to hear some, like all this hoopla, and you have the player saying there's no, like the Jameis thing is like.
Yeah, they're not even thinking about it. Yeah.
No, he's definitely not.
Yeah.
Which we knew just based off of why wouldn't you put him in?
Yeah. Yeah, they've had every opportunity.
I just wish everyone would just listen to like the players when they tell you, and then shh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was impressed with the DeVito family tailgate party. Okay. Says Eric Wheelo. Okay.
You ain't on the team, what? Do you like Deebo? Deebo. Man, I'm big. I'm bad.
Deebo Samuel to foot race. My goodness.
I won't quit. Keep on grinding.
And he makes the catch.
Man, I'm
It's Tuesday. You know we had to have some Deebo today. The all-pro receiver on the newly dubbed #1 seed in the NFC. Deebo, that sounds pretty right. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it sounds pretty good. We just got to keep stacking these days, stacking weeks, stacking wins, and just continue to do what we've been doing and just stay on top.
Listen, there's a lot of concern. A lot of people like, how are we making sure Deebo's? Like, how are you feeling? Or is that a concern at all? Is that like a plan for that? No, right? No, that's what I'm saying. Not at all. Okay. Well, the Niners officially clinched a playoff spot last night. Y'all got the 1 seed with the Eagles loss, and you broke the all-time record for rushing touchdowns by a wide receiver, which is insane. 5 touchdowns in the last 2 games. It's unbelievable. You're on an absolute heater right now. What's working so well?
Everything. First of all, let's shout out my boy 1KBA, back-to-back seasons with 1,000, first of all. And then we go on down the line from Christian to Brock to the front 7 to how amazing our defense is playing, special teams. I mean, everybody's just clicking and playing on one accord.
We love it. Your connection with Brock seems to be on another level. Do you think that's true, or has it always been like that and it's just the game plan right now?
I just think we're clicking the way everybody wants us to be, the way we're sharing the ball around, the way people just breaking tackles in the open field, people just running open and just doing our job. And it starts with Cal and, the offensive mind that he has to get people in the right position to make plays. He's doing a really good job at it.
Well, Brock's calling out touchdowns before they even happen. Take a look.
Jamal Adams he didn't come down like really, really hard, but I sort of saw his feet, like coming down. He was sort of flat-footed, and I was like, all right, with Deebo moving, I was like, we can get over the top here. And so took my drop. He wasn't necessarily like the #1 guy in the read. It was actually Juwan. But the way Jamal Adams came down, I was like, this could be a big one. So let it rip and let Deebo get under it.
What do you think?
Yeah, that's crazy because all week long it was basically like for me to like clear out because the way Bobby Wagner plays like special routes or whatever. But actually kind of one of the last reads in the play. And once I seen Brock wind up, because I really wasn't running 100% at the time. But when I seen him wind up, I had to kick another gear because I ain't gonna lie, that was probably one of the best balls I've seen Brock sling down the field.
It's amazing. And I tweeted it out. I said, this is a rough day for the Brock can't throw downfield crowd.
Man. Because Brock is letting it go. I'm talking about dot after dot after dot.
And we love seeing it. And you guys obviously have control of the entire thing right now, which just feels right and feels suited. You against the Seahawks continues to be just like the craziest story. What is it?
I really don't know what it is. I guess it just be the games where, break a lot of tackles and just eventually be open, and the play calling by Cal, and not only just me. I mean, at the end of the day, like, you got to cover the whole field now, and not only are we just throwing the ball over across the middle, we throwing it downfield, and so like now I think it put a lot of pressure on teams just to really like game plan us the way they used to.
Let's talk about the DK scuffle at the end of the game. Why are you laughing?
What about the scuffle you want to know about?
Well, he and Fred Warner, they get into it after an interception, of course. Metcalf, he gets ejected. I don't know, what did this carry over from something? Where did it start?
I don't know. I know our defense played a physical game, and he probably was frustrated.
And then Trent Williams, your friend, comes flying from the sideline, of course, to defend your guys, as he should. Did you see him start running and think, what is he doing?
Nah, if I see Trent running out there, he's not on like bad intentions. He's really trying to get the guys out of there because at the end of the day, he knows what's at stake. He don't want nobody to get disqualified. He want to continue to keep all the players in the game in order to win the game.
Now, Deebo, I was perusing the San Francisco Chronicle, the newspaper, and I read that Shanahan pointed out DK's past antics in a team meeting and sort of was trying to say, this is a player whose skin you can get under during the game. And, so much so that he was promising Christmas presents to whoever got to him. Is that true?
I don't know nothing about that one. I probably wasn't in that team meeting then.
So Fred Warner. Okay, all right. That's I guess all we need to know about any of that. He looked very frustrated during the game, and I don't know if Fred Warner's getting a new Jeep under his Christmas tree potentially this season. Now I know AJ Brown is your boy. It must have felt sort of nice seeing your South Carolina guy, though, right? Stephon Gilmore sort of put something on him.
Yeah, it was going back and forth all game. I actually talked to AJ yesterday about the game, and when he's not having a game that he want to have, he's a little frustrated and stuff. But I mean, at the end of the day, AJ's a great receiver. Gilmore's still a great corner, and it was good just to see that battle.
Yeah, it's really nice. I mean, Stephon Gilmore changes. He's a bona fide Super Bowl shutdown corner. Goes there and sort of does his thing. It's nice to see if you're a defensive-minded kind of person. I don't know. Stephon Gilmore said AJ Brown called him old at the beginning of the game. Is that true?
I have no idea.
He called him old, Deebo.
I don't know nothing about that. I ain't playing that game. I was just watching.
Okay, well, speaking of the Eagles, Deshaun Jackson, he popped on my show yesterday, and he did leave you a little message/question. Take a look.
Deebo, man, I just got a question for you, man. How do you manage to run the ball, catch the ball? I mean, damn, you could probably be a punter too, man. You manage to do everything, man. How do you manage to do that, man? Like, what are you doing to take care of your body every day throughout the week, man? Come on, man. If I could go back in time, I'd do everything you was doing, man. Salute to you, brother. Take care.
My brother, man. What's up, D-Jack? Man, it's just crazy how, I don't know, it's just something I've been doing all my life. And for it's like the taking care of body stuff. You run a little late, so I'm a little behind, but not rushing you a little bit because I take some time. I'll be a little late. But on Tuesdays, basically like get the needles and all that stuff done.
Yeah.
Go in and get some cardio and get the sauna type stuff. And then I fly my lady in from Sports Rehab LA, a lady named Shannon, on on Thursdays and Fridays, and get body work done before, the big game on Sunday and just get ready to go. And the way Cal have us prepared all week for the games, I mean, how can you not be ready to go?
You're in Arizona this week, last one for you. And, it wasn't your best game of the season, I guess I'll say. What does that mean for this? Because is there a little something extra in this matchup you are rolling?
No, not a little extra on this matchup. Like I just said, we got to continue to stack days and stack wins and prepare the way we've been preparing and just continue to win so we can keep this #1 spot.
You're the best, Deebo. We will let you go get your body right, get set for Arizona. You are the best. I like the smile. I like the NFC lead. I like all of it. And I don't like you not trying to mess with the other, all the drama, but I do respect it and appreciate you. Thank you, Deebo.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good to see you. Give our best to Tyshawn. We'll be back after this. We've got attaboys to give out. We've got some pick-me-up action looking at your questions right now on the YouTube chat, y'all. Thank you. How hard is a good question. Go ahead. Okay. Okay. Great. Great.
Those are great thoughts.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, let me look at this. I think we should have had him react to a play. That 57-yard touchdown, talk rock in that way.
Yeah, bring up the play. Because
that was fun, not
that was an interesting detail, too, like how he said he wasn't running full speed, and then he turned it on. Once he saw Brock getting ready to throw it, he turned it on.
Pick me up. Not that bad. Let's do it. Still not over Cam. I think that's what I would. Whose client, Tommy DeVito, is facing Cam Jordan, and now we've got some waiver wire grabs for you guys. It's Tuesday. We do this every week at quarterback. I'm going to go Joe Flacco. Okay, Herbert's going down now on top of all these other quarterback injuries, so Flacco, I think, is like the best option out there. Decent matchup. He's got the Bears and the Texans coming up. Running back, listen, Chase Brown, I put him on the map. For me to put somebody on Hamilton's map is like a... put me into the Hall of Fame for something. He's worth a look. 100+ total yards, a score last week. He's not getting a ton of volume, but like big play vibes. I think that could only go up down the stretch. And they want to see what they have, and they clearly have a nice little change of pace option for next season. At receiver, Odell Beckham Jr. He's still out there in like 60% of leagues. What are we doing here? He's found the end zone 3 of the last 5 games. You're just letting that go to waste. Seems like his role is getting bigger and bigger as the weeks go on. Is he going to be like the reason they win in the Super Bowl? He's going to have another career. Listen, Odell needs to be rostered. Chase Brown and Joe Flacco. Big thanks to Cam Jordan. Big thanks to Sean Stellato and, of course, to Deebo, who was just smiley and just wanting to live in the glory of his amazing time this past weekend, of course, with their win, and then also just like living on top of the food chain. Now, we're going to go back to last night and talk about the other game, okay? Titans go into Miami, and they somehow erase a 14-point deficit with under 3 minutes to go and knock off the Dolphins. That's the first time we've seen anybody do that since 2016. And really, the comeback is so absurd. Really think about this. Since 2016, teams are combined 0-767 when faced with the situation the Titans were facing last night. That's bonkers, okay? And it's enormously important if you take a look at the AFC here, okay? The impact is huge. We are jumpy. Okay, Miami moves into the 1 seed, or was supposed to, I don't know. Instead, Baltimore's all alone in first at 10-3. Don't look now, the Dolphins are only 2 up in the division on the Bills, who would hold the tiebreaker if they decide to run the table. Is that right, Hamilton?
Yep.
Okay, that's good. What do you make of that?
I mean, it's not good if you're a Dolphins fan.
Right.
The Bills are still really alive here. Both of those teams have tough schedules down the stretch, but yeah, Baltimore, if you're a Ravens fan waking up this morning, it's great news because they really control their destiny here the rest of the way to get that 1 seed.
And obviously, like Tennessee side, that's not what we're looking for. But you know, there's no playoff implication panel to pop up for them. But like this kind of stuff does matter. And winning games like this with this young quarterback, it matters developmentally for him. It matters with the fan base. It matters with the pieces and things are going to do as the draft approaches. All of that, like, and the Will Levis experience, the sort of like making Josh Allen style of play look really tame. Like he was out there trucking people. Who does this as a young quarterback? He's out there. Hey, Jalen Ramsey, bye! Like, he was doing his thing. He tried to tackle a 350-pound dude out there a couple of times, scrambling. He was thrown back across the end zone for touchdowns. Did you like seeing this, Hamilton?
I mean, it was entertaining as hell. It was really fun to watch. You know, I think it's going to be that delicate balance with him going forward of, you know, kind of trying to rein that in without taking away what makes him him.
Yeah, every week it's absolute chaos, but he does make these big plays. 327, by the way, on the night through the air for him. And he's got a little something Titans fans, I think, can get excited about towards the future. Dolphin side, this whole thing is just Tyreek. I didn't ask Deebo about it because I didn't know it would not go well. But he leaves the game with his injury early, and the offense was crickets. It was vanilla. It was granola. Nothing was going on. Then it ripped off 17 unanswered to build a lead. When Tyreek gets back in the game. Then it's, well, the MVP's got to be his. He's the most important player in the world. He then exits again for the final drive, which, again, if you were watching like the thing, falls flat. And listen, the struggles the offense had without him at points, it was something to pay attention to, but it's not like there's a lot of like Tua can't do it. It's not an indictment on Tua, but it did bolster Tyreek Hill and his MVP campaign. And, you know, if he gets those 2,000 yards, I don't know if you're going to not be able to give it to him. Painfully clear how much he means to that offense when you look at how that game unfolded. And I will say I really did talk to people in asking about what was going on with Tony and how that happens. And like we asked Deshaun about it, and I asked around a little bit about it. And there was a lot, and I was asking about like what's going on with the Chiefs. Like I was asking anybody I could. What's going on with the Chiefs with this? You know, like they didn't have Tyreek Hill last year, and they were getting it done. But there was something about the knowledge and the football instincts about Tyreek as a player that we're too dazzled by what he can do athletically and his speed and his ability and all of that, that we don't give it, which we often do when there's something that's so obvious. We don't give enough attention or love or even just credit to the fact that Tyreek Hill is like a cerebrally very brilliant football player, that he almost like wants more on his plate, that he picks up everything so easily and his instincts are there, which is what makes him such a lethal player to opposing defenses. Like he's got it. He's got it all, not just one part or like, you know, he's got a little bit something in all of those buckets. And he said after the game he was in a lot of pain last night, but that he does expect to like be able to work through it. So we'll see how much it affects him going forward. And that, by the way, is going to matter because Miami's entering not a cute stretch of the season here. If you take a look, let's look at their schedule. The Jets have life. They face the Cowboys. They got to go to Baltimore. That's not going to be fun. That's a New Year's Eve game. And then they finish things up with the Bills, which is wooftacular. So we're going to learn a lot about this team, guys, down the stretch. And even though, you know, the disappointment of last night, they've got an opportunity to sort of move forward. And they can say, we're going to carve out our own path to the #1 seed. Big, big games coming up. And hopefully they can shut up all the naysayers that are going to, you know, say that they can't rip apart or pass this part of the schedule. We said it like 6 weeks ago. Nobody's going to say anything about the Dolphins if they win every game because it's a light schedule, it's a whatever. These are the games that matter the most. Not just for this year's bid, but for what this team is looked at, and especially what Tua and company are looked at. All right, let's hand out some attaboys, shall we? We didn't do this on the show yesterday. Let's do it. Attaboys. These are players or coaches or fan bases or moments that deserve a little more forget about it from Sunday. First up, Courtland Sutton. Get him to the Pro Bowl, people. He snags this insane, you cannot, that's just, shh. Ooh. Gorgeous. Russell Wilson, to him, that's 10 touchdowns on the season, second in the NFL, I believe. Hey, Gronk, you know something about multiple touchdowns, double-digit scores. What do you think about this?
Attaboy, attababy.
Attaboy, attababy. Oh, there's that 43. Oh, thank you, Elo. Elo happened, sure. Only Tyreek has more touchdowns than him, so I mean, I don't know. Nobody on this Broncos team has more than 3 this entire season. He's found it in 6 of the last 7 games, living in the end zone. Well, all the Broncos are 6-1 in that span. He's a big part of that. Next up, and clearly not Jerry Jeudy, if you're watching what's going on Twitter. Jerry Jeudy and Sean Payton. I don't know. Next up, someone wins. When somebody wins a game 3-0. You got to shout out a defense, right? And for the Vikings, undrafted rookie linebacker Ivan Pace, okay? He was the star of the show. 13 tackles, he had a sack. And this, the diving interception to seal the game. Hammy.
This is an incredible play, and he's having an unbelievable year for that team right now. This was, I think, his breakout moment that's going to make people take notice.
Capped it with a backflip, love it. You know his teammate Cam Bynum, friend of the show, loves it. Cam, what'd you think of this?
Atta baby, let's go. That's a play, baby.
Attaboy! Pace, by the way, similar to Tommy DeVito, undrafted, not drafted, leads all rookies in tackles. What a freaking story that is. He's been a stud for Brian Flores, for what he's doing with that defense. By the way, they're top 5 in the league, and this has been all the key to keeping them in playoff position. Finally, Bucs running back Rachaad White, 102 on the ground, 135 total yards. Look at the screen that he takes to the house, which Hamilton's going to talk through.
I mean, weaving through traffic here, taking it all the way in. He has been on fire lately. I love that we got to talk to him this summer and seeing him have this breakout year for the Bucs.
Crazy stat line, and I have a feeling his teammate, Levante David, might have some thoughts on this. I know you don't like offense, but come on, Levante, give it up. Oh, boy. No sound. He was saying, "Atta baby!" He's put up 100+ yards in 3 straight games, 5 of his last 7. He ranks 4th among running backs in total yards this season, and he's a big reason that Cam Jordan's not in a great mood because the Bucs might win the division, and he's a big reason as to why, and we do need to be talking about him a little bit more. We like those running backs down in Tampa. We got to get Baker Mayfield on the show. I want Baker.
Yeah.
We've tried. Baker's been a bit of a white whale for us this season. Haven't been able to make it work.
Is he the new Cutler?
He's given us that. No, because Cutler's just trash. Baker's like, let's try to make it work while he's playing. All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow.